Okay. So what are the three bodies outside the physical body? There's the spiritual body, there's the emotional body, and there's the mental body. Whoa, I thought the mind was up here. No, the spirit's up here. So what is the spiritual body? That is the body that's really extended way outside the physical body. And that is your alignment with divine source. So how do we connect to divine source? Let me ask you a question. Where do you go when you go to sleep? The answer is you go to God. So sleepitation is the spiritual practice of awareness, connection, and elevation to the divine. And that's how you connect your spiritual body. Now, what is sleepitation? Sleepitation is the affirmation and the visualization of that connection. Now, this was all brought together when people were so busy trying to stay alive that they didn't have time to meditate or develop a spiritual practice. And that's when sleepitation was developed. So we're going to get into affirmations later and visualizations later. Next, we want to talk about the emotional body. Now, we all think we know what the emotions are, but we don't have a clue. We think we know. So we think we know about anger and fear and sadness and loneliness and grief and frustration, but we don't know anything about abandonment, rejection, betrayal, abuse. We don't know anything about craving power, craving possessions, and craving pleasure. We don't know about unreasonable demands and needing to look good or be right. Emotions are self-regulating. What does that mean, self-regulating? That means you are responsible for your emotions. You can't say, he made me mad, she made me mad. You make yourself mad. You lose control. Emotions are self-regulating. So how can we self-regulate, Dr. Love? Well, the first thing you got to do is zero balance the emotions. Well, how do I do that? I'm angry. Well, there's something called an emotional enema. Yes, I coined the term. I didn't invent the elements. I just put them all together in a sequence, in a format, easy for you to access. That's an emotional enema. So the first thing is Acu-tapping. We use a way of tapping where the neurological energy points come together to collect the neurotransmitters, the neural peptides that create the opiate hormones. So there's an anger hormone, there's a fear hormone, there's a sadness hormone, there's a worry hormone. You make the hormones, and you also build the receptor sites with your intention, focus, and will. So first we got a zero balance with the Acu-tapping method. Then there's 6 healing breaths. And deep breath. And then and then so that's 3 of the 6 healing breaths for the heart, the lung, and the liver. And then there's 6 healing tones. Om ah hu ha ho re. Om ah hum ha ho re. So that is the 3 treasures and the 3 burning spaces. We've got the 6 tones. Then there's the 6 colors. And then there is the 6 virtues. And then there's the 5 emotional release dances. So that's how we zero balance. And then we go into how do I make better choices and how do I self-regulate. Once I understand through psychopuncture what my issues are, it could be anger, avoidance, and addiction. It could be craving power. It could be craving pleasure. So we have to do psychopuncture to understand what our issues are, and then we can zero balance them. And then we learn how to make better choices with the 6 virtues. And then we self-regulate on a daily basis with the emotional release dances. And that's how we can self-regulate the emotional body. And then there's the mental body. What is the mental body? That's your operating system. Your mental operating system is plus your app. What's your chip? Your childhood program. What's your app? Your attitude, your perspective, and your perception. So your operating system, your mental operating system, is created from your childhood program and your attitude, perspective, and perception. Okay, how do I change that? Because I'm angry at the world and I blame the world because I was born Jewish, because I was born gay, because I was born black, because I was born female, I was born handicapped, whatever your issue is, that's your mental operating system. So how can we change that? Well, the first thing we have to do is rewrite the childhood program. There's only 12 stories in the world, and everybody's story is a variation of one of those 12 stories. So if you know your parents' story and you know your story, you already know 1/4 of all the stories in the whole world. So as a therapist, I'm taught, stay out of the story, rewrite the story, rewrite the ending to the story. Then we have to shift, we have to alter the attitude. I was born with a chip on my shoulder. I had a bad attitude, according to my father. I joined the military just to piss him off. Didn't work. Worked for me, didn't work for him. Then after you alter your attitude, then you have to shift your perspective. And when you are able to shift your perspective, your relationships become more positive because then you can see the other person's point of view. That's why we shift perspective. And when we can see the other person's point of view, it makes us better at communicating, and it creates better relationships in business and in personal. And then we have to clarify our perception. Now, how many times have we not seen something because we expected to see something different? And we weren't looking there, we were looking there. 6 inches away, we had an expectation to see something, and the thing we were looking for was just 6 inches to the left. We have to clarify our perception because then we have insight. Then we have third eye. Perception is insight. Now, what's the next step to that is journaling, affirmation, and meditation. So in our journaling, we write down what our mental constructs are, what our feelings are about certain things. And if we journal every day, then from the journaling, we can write affirmations. I choose to have this in my life. I choose to see what I have not been seeing. I choose to cut the psychic cords of attachment that no longer serve me. So from your journaling, you get your affirmations. And then from affirmation, then you can meditate. And from meditation, there's moving meditation, spiraling meditation, walking meditation, dancing meditation, So we can change our mental body, our mental construct with journaling, affirmations, and meditation. And those are the three bodies. Now, I can drop all this information on you in 30 minutes. How is that going to change your life? It's not, unless you choose to go down the rabbit hole of what is your spiritual body and how you can create a spiritual practice of awareness, connection, and elevation to the divine. Unless you learn Sleepitation. Now, this is a 2-weekend course of how to create a spiritual practice of alignment with the divine, awareness, connection, and elevation. So unless you're ready for that, you don't know what your spiritual body is capable of and how it can help you and elevate you when you are guided by the divine. Guidance of the divine. You are God. Guided. Guidance of the divine. Now your emotional body, whoa, that's a really big ball of wax. Your emotional body, it's going to take 3 months to reconfigure your emotional body. You are so set in your ways. You have to cut the crap and take an emotional enema. What's the crap? Your conditioned response attitude problem. You think you know it all. You got the answer for everything. You're the smart aleck. You're the one-liner. You put down your own friends. You ridicule your own family. Cut your crap. Take an emotional enema. And then make better choices. Learn the 6 virtues. Practice the 6 virtues. It's going to take you 9 months of practicing the 6 virtues to begin to understand the ways you've gone wrong your entire life. And then you've got to dance the devil away. So the first dance is wave away worries. The second dance is emotional flow. Transform fear into anger. The third dance is the liver dance. You have to get rid of suppression. You have to get rid of anger, frustration, resentment, shame, blame, and guilt. And then you've got to get rid of the drama that you create daily in your life because of your crap. Drop the drama. Cut the crap. Drop the drama. Have an emotional body. How to reconfigure, how to retrain your emotional body. Unless you're willing to invest 9 months of your time, then you might as well stay angry, be fearful, be worried, and let that rule your life. Fear, worry, anger. Fear, worry, anger. Unless you want to stay there, you got to go on this journey to reconfigure your emotional body. And then last but not least is your mental body. Your mental body is right here. Your mental body is the choices that you make based upon your past. So your childhood program, plus your attitude, plus your perspective and your perception, that's what creates the heart choice. So keep a journal, write the affirmations, and learn to meditate. And there's 8 different methods of meditation: moving meditation, singing meditation, dancing meditation, spiral meditation, walking meditation, fire meditation, water meditation. So when you're ready to alter your attitude, when you're ready to shift perspective, when you're ready to clarify perception, then we can rewrite the chip and your mental operating system can transform to unconditional love. So that's 3 weekends for the mental body. It's 2 weekends for the spiritual body, but it's going to be 9 months for the emotional body. And all of them have Qigong aspects to them. So when you are ready, go to loveqigong.com and register to find out how to upgrade your spiritual body, how to balance your emotional body, and how to transform your mental body. So we're going to take some questions. I know I dropped a lot of information on you. Maybe we'll take a list.
How do you repel spiritual attacks?
Aha, spiritual attacks. How do you know that it's spiritual? And how do you know that it's an attack? Until I know that you know what you're talking about, I can't tell you how to do it. And how do you know it's an attack? And how can you explain that to me? Because I can't help you unless you can explain to me what is the attack and how it's an attack. So your best bet is to contact me offline, and then you'll be able to better answer those questions.
Another question is, what's your feeling on using Qigong to deal with energetic strengths and weaknesses based on Bazi?
What is my feeling regarding energetic strength using Qigong to deal with energetic strengths and weaknesses with?
Based on Bazi. Bazi, B-A-Z-I.
Based on Bazi. I think you mean Chinese astrology. I think that's what you're talking about. Chinese astrology is definitely part of Chinese medicine, but I have deliberately left that out because it is way too complicated for this particular audience. We're trying to deal with the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body. Astrology, although very important and entirely applicable, is not germane to this conversation. And perhaps invite you on and you can explain Bazi if we're talking about Chinese astrology.
Somebody want to know how often you host the weekend seminars.
We do the weekend seminars every month. So every month, and we will let you know now that the quarantine is over in Florida, we'll let you know when we're going to have the weekend seminars. Now, they are going to be outside, so you don't have to worry about this.
Are they going to be offered online? The Holistic Motivator may get available for you online.
Well, I'm going to leave that up to the Holistic Motivator because we're formulating the list of classes that people say they are most interested in. And then once we put that list down, and then we're going to attach dates, and then you can pick and choose. So we have a minimum of 10 and a maximum of 18. So there's not going to be any huge groups of people. Minimum 10, maximum 18. That's all I'm willing to teach at one time, because I want to make sure that everybody gets personal attention from Dr. Love. And when we get more than 18 people, it doesn't work for me, and less than 10 also doesn't work for me. So I hope that answers your question.
So they should sign up for the newsletter 21daystowellness.com so they can stay updated.
They should sign up for the newsletter, 21daystowellness.com, so they can stay updated and become a member of the Blue Dragon tribe.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. So I know I dropped a lot of information, but we're going to put the main bullet points, because I know you couldn't take notes while I was talking, but we'll put the main bullet points down there for the spiritual body, what you can do to create alignment with the divine, what you can do for the emotional enema and the 6 virtues and the 5 emotional release dances and the mental body operating system ChP plus app and journaling, affirmations, and meditation. So with no further questions, remember, your health is in your hands. Prevention is the only cure. In order to be well, you've got to eat well, sleep well, and chi well.
And where's your theme song?
Where's the theme song? Ole, 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 ole. Ole, 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 ole. Blue Dragon, Qigong. Blue Dragon, Qigong. Ole, 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 ole. Ole, 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 ole. Blue Dragon, Qigong. Blue Dragon, Qigong.
That's the outro for it.
That was awesome, man.